What's up, guys? So if you saw in the previous video, you would see that I haven't really been doing a lot of filming. I mentioned about the transmissions in that last one. I'm kind of debating on whether I really want to film anything right now. Not really super happy right now. Just to catch you up, 4L80 out of the truck again because it doesn't work right. It is really slow engagement into gear, and it is slipping kind of when you start to try to move it. Of course, I haven't really driven it, but just trying to pull it ahead in the garage, it kind of slips and then grabs. I don't know. I've had it apart a couple times, and I'm gonna put it back together today, hopefully. I have to get those sealing rings for the input shaft. The Nova, on the other hand, I pulled the transmission out a couple weeks ago because something was making a noise. Maybe the gear set, I figured, making kind of a whining, whirring noise. But it just kind of all of a sudden came on. You know, it was fine 1 second, next second it wasn't, kind of thing. Took the transmission apart, couldn't really find anything wrong. Cleaned up a couple little things. There was a couple bolts loose on the gear set because it's a straight cut gear set. They come apart. And now I put it back together. Last night, went to try to go cruising, and super noisy. So I don't know if it's the converter. I don't know if it is the gear set, but unfortunately right now my Powercruise hopes to go to Powercruise with something are slowly dwindling away because my truck, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna put the trans back in, but I mean, I haven't even driven it on the street once, so that kind of sucks. And my car, which was, I figured if I couldn't take the truck, I'll take the car, and now it's no good. So yeah, just not the best time around here lately, but we're gonna keep her going and try to see what we can do. So I got the Nova up on stands. We're gonna fire it up, try to figure out where that noise is coming from. So let's do it. All right, I don't know if we'll really be able to hear it. Maybe you will be able to hear it, but start it up and see what we can hear. So it seems to be the gear set that is making the noise. I don't know. Like I said, I took it apart and I didn't find anything really wrong with it, so I really don't know. I guess it's gonna have to come out again. If it was just noisy a little bit, I wouldn't care, but it's like driving on the street, it's super noisy, and I'm scared it's gonna blow up. So I guess I'm pulling the trans again. All right, so what I've decided is pulling the transmission out right now. It's about halfway out already, 3/4 of the way out. Well, all I really have to do is the transmission bolts and the shifter, and it's ready to pull. So my plan is to pull the transmission out right now, tear it apart, and then, I mean, I'll re-inspect the gear set again or whatever, but I mean, I didn't find nothing the first time. And then my plan is to find a stock gear set. I think my brother actually has a couple Powerglides kicking around. Put a thing on Facebook if anyone has one. I'm gonna get a stock gear set. I'm just gonna throw it in. Realistically, a stock gear set will be just fine, especially for Powercruise, you know, racing around, like not drag racing it, launching it hard, etc. I had a stock gear set in here until, well, I was going like low 9s before it broke. So I don't know what's wrong with this gear set, but all I know is it's super expensive. It's like $700 American for a gear set, and I don't really want to have to buy one, and I definitely can't buy one in the next 2 days. So I'm down with just throwing a stock gear set in there so I can make it to Powercruise. I'm really bummed that the truck's not going to be able to be there. That really sucks. I really wanted it to be, but realistically at this point, even if I fix the trans like today and put it back in and it was good, I still don't think I want to take it to Powercruise. I haven't tuned it. I haven't driven it at all. That doesn't seem like it would make sense, while my car, other than this noise that the transmission's making, is ready to go. So yeah, I'll take you under there and I'll show you what, I mean, I'm sure you know what it's like to take a transmission out, but I am going to point out something that I really don't like when it comes to LS's, and that's the fact that because the oil pan here is so big, it blocks the whole transmission. The only place to take the converter bolts out is right where the starter is. So then you got to pull the starter every single time, which is a super pain. But yeah, and otherwise I got everything apart. Like I said, the shifter and the bolts, which I'm going to do now, and get this thing out of there so we can fix it up and make it to Powercruise. I did forget to mention, so I'll mention it now. Powercruise is actually this Thursday. It is Monday right now, so that means I have 3 days. We leave Thursday morning. I have 3 days to get something ready to go. Plus, we're also trying to get the shit horse ready to go too. So 3 days and counting. And I've spent the last 2 days pretty much working on this thing. And I'm on holidays, and I'd rather be, you know, sitting around relaxing than up to my hands in transmission fluid. But you got to do what you got to do. So let's do it. All right, there it is. The two sad transmissions of SPPTV and RFG. So it's out. So now I got to take it apart, get the gear set out, and then hopefully find another one to put in there. Need more power, Captain. For those of you who don't know, that's an Ultra Bell housing, aftermarket, SFI approved, for obviously drag racing and whatnot. Now I have to pull the pump off, so that's next, but I'm going to put that on the bench to do that. Yellow Wolf, baby. You guys didn't know, Yellow Wolf is like, you know, our music mascot, I guess you could say. One of our favorites around here. Ugh. I have been covered in transmission fluid all weekend, and it's gross. But I guess it's a life we chose, right? Be car guys, do car things. I really wish this meant I was becoming an expert at transmission building, but I'm really not. I was actually, back in the day, my Nova used to be a 4-speed, and then I wanted to put an automatic in, and so this guy that I knew, his name's Darren, works at Great Rate Transmission here in town, really good guy. He taught me how to build Turbo 350s, so I've always known how to build those, and Powerglides are pretty simple. And then I figured I could rebuild a 4L80 because I can rebuild the Turbo 350. I think I did it right, but it doesn't work right, so. But I'm still not sure if it's somehow a computer problem or something. I don't know. Alright, so there is the tail shaft. So in order to pull the pump out of, I think, pretty much every Chevy, you'll see that there's a couple holes here are threaded. So I don't even remember who made these for me, but somebody made them for me. Just a big washer with a bolt welded. Then you get a slide hammer, which I don't know how this is going to work because this slide hammer thing is kind of screwed, but I can put vice grips on it, I guess. I mean, I just had this pump out, so it shouldn't be too hard to pull out again. You know, if it's an old transmission. The 4L80s seem really tight to pull out actually, at least that one. Okay, so once you have this on here, you just give it a, and there it is. Sometimes you got to go side to side. Like I said, I just had this one out, so it should be pretty simple, obviously. And then this is your, oh, there's more oil. Input shaft. That's a special one for the turbo spline torque converter. Whoa. Please don't break. Okay, so there's the pump. And then this is your drum. And then the band. And right here is the gear set in here. Like I said, why it's making so much noise, I wish I knew. And this is your, for your band adjustment. So you loosen this off. That in turn loosens the band. And just simple as that, the gear set comes out. All this stuff is, this gear set's not that old. And really, I don't even see any like bad wear on it or anything, but yet it's super crazy noisy. Oh, and then something just fell out. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. No broken gears. They're all in place. The weird thing is that it started making noise like all of a sudden. Like it was quiet and then it was noisy. To me, that sounds like something's broken. But yet I can't seem to find anything in here that's not right, or that seems, I mean, I can take all these gears out, which I guess I'm going to have to do, but I don't really want to have to do that, but yeah. I ended up taking the gear set apart. I guess I could show it to you. There it is in the box. I took all the gears out. Of course, I didn't find anything wrong, like in terms of broken or, you know, chipped gears or anything. One of the gears feels really sharp. I don't know if that means it's worn. I don't know. I might have to see if I can find a place down south that can rebuild them or something and send it there and get them to inspect it and change out what needs to be changed out. I don't know. It just sucks when that thing's really expensive and I don't really want to have to buy a new one. You know what I mean? And it's not broken. That's the crazy thing. But the noise coming off it is so loud that, you know, Ed's like, oh, just drive it, whatever. But I can't drive it like that. It's just, it's too, especially like when you let off the gas after you give her, super loud. But anyways, so that's all I'm going to do for right now. I'm going to head out in a while to go and get those seals, hopefully for the 4L80. And then I'm going to wait and hear about a Powerglide. I'll call my brother and see what he has and see if anyone else messages me. And then hopefully I can get another gear set and put it in and put it back. You know, like I could put I'm not putting this one back in again because I already did that once and it still made tons of noise. So I'm going to hopefully find something, but we'll see what happens in a little while. All right, guys, so I got a Powerglide from my brother. He had some sitting in his house. It was pretty filthy. I just scraped like tons of dirt off it. So I'm going to pull this apart and get the gear set out and put it in my trans, and hopefully it's going to be all good after that. I also got those seals from local transmission shop, Great Rate Transmission here in Winnipeg. Got them, they put them on for me, so that's all good for the truck. But I'm not really worrying about the truck right now. Concentrating on getting the car back together so we can make it to Powercruise. So yeah, I'm just going to yank this apart and get the gear set up. All right, so here we go.
Here we go. Get out of here, you goddamn jackass.
So here's the gear set. Stock 176, I believe, because it said, brother said it was a 6-cylinder one, so that's fine. Also got to change this out because it's also got the helical cut gear. And yeah, that's it. So now I'm just going to put all this stuff in the trans and put it back in the car and hope it works. And off to Powercruise. So there it is. She's all back together. And it feels good when you turn it. Looks good. So now it's ready to go back in the car, and hopefully she'll be good. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. Was out here, me and Mike were out here until about 2 a.m. last night, working on the car. I got the transmission back in, exhaust on. Everything's done now. The only thing is it was leaking from the pan the other day. I couldn't get one on Sunday, so I siliconed it. It didn't really work. It was still leaking. So I got another one this morning. Here's the pan, all cleaned up. I got the gasket. It came with a new filter. So I'll throw a new filter in while I'm at it. And then put the oil in, test her out, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Put the oil in, fired it up, noise is gone. So I'm still going to test drive it just to make sure, take it for a ride in a little bit. But yeah, that was it. Like I said, I still don't know what's up with that gear set. There's nothing broken in there, so maybe a gear is worn weird or something. I'll have to see if I can send it out somewhere to get it inspected or repaired or whatever. But for now, the stock gear set's in there. It actually sounds really good. It's nice and quiet, actually. It's weird though because the straight cut gears make noise in like park and these don't, so it's kind of weird. It makes the car even quieter now. So yeah, I'm just going to clean up the tools and then we'll go for a little spin, see how it is, and if she's good, we're ready to go to the Powercruise. Alright, so we're going to go for a little ride now and see if it's good, and we'll take you guys along. So far I drove it a little bit and seems good, no noise at all. It's weird because it's super quiet now, even quieter than before because the straight cut gears make so much noise. And now it's quiet as can be. Definitely call that a win. I think we're ready to go to Powercruise now. All I gotta do is take the front tires off the S10, put them on here again because these skinny tires aren't good for going around the corners and stuff. Guys, so that's it. The next video will be our trip to Powercruise, hopefully. So like always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll check you later.
No more.